Saturday on CBS. Have we got a night for you?
Have we got a ball for you?
All in the Family. Bridget Loves Bernie.
Look at it this way. How many parents get to attend the honeymoon?
The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Have we got a ball for you?
The Bob Newhart Show. Mission Impossible.
This time like last time, it's all here on CBS.
Saturday nights this fall on CBS.
Sitcom, all ye faithful, a Christmas podcast special where I discuss 25 Christmas sitcom episodes. Please come and listen every day until Christmas. I'm sure we'll feature Fonzie, the Bradys, and Steve Urkel, Dunder Mifflin, Mayberry, and definitely Alf. We'll definitely talk about Alf.
Hello?
It's the happiest merry season of it is this time of year. Welcome back, everybody, to another thrilling episode of Sitcom, All Ye Faithful, where today I watched The Bob Newhart Show from 1972. Yes, 1972, the first season of The Bob Newhart Show. This is only the 14th episode of a show that has gone down to become pretty much a classic sitcom. What I didn't realize was that it's only 6 seasons. I don't know how long Newhart ran, but let's just put it this way. You can be 1,000,000% sure this isn't the last Bob Newhart episode that you'll be hearing this month. But the name of this episode is His Busiest Season. And I have to tell you, The Bob Newhart Show is, again, another one of those shows that was early 70s, that was before my time, and I never... Oh, there's a beeping horn. I'm outside, by the way. Merry Christmas. It's December in Massachusetts, and I tell you, it's unseasonably... I'm not going to say warm, but tomorrow might hit 60. Even though it's raining. Today, I think, hitting the 50s. It's pleasant. Like, I'm outside. I got a long sleeve shirt. I got a hat on. But I don't have any gloves. I don't have a jacket. And I'm just kind of sitting by a tree. The air conditioner that usually comes on in the middle of summer during movie month, it's wrapped up. It's gone. You're not going to hear it. So it's thrilling to be out here in December. Anyway, The Bob Newhart Show was not one of those shows that I watched a lot. I think of like The Odd Couple, Bob Newhart, the other shows I've mentioned already, like classic shows that I should pay more attention to. This is all on Hulu that I just didn't. Now, the Newhart Show that came on years later, I watched a lot of that. Not every episode, but it was one of those shows that I knew a lot about. My parents watched it. I would catch episodes. I love, Larry and Daryl. I enjoyed that show a lot. And years ago, I did a blog series called Hellivision, where I did 31 sitcom watched the sitcom every day and did 31 blog posts. This was early years of Movie Month where I was just blogging. And that was one and done. But it was, I did a Newhart Halloween, I did a Newhart Halloween episode. And there is more, there's many connections between Newhart and Bob Newhart. Never mind the host. The star, Bob Newhart. His wife on the Bob Newhart Show, Suzanne Plachette. She was on the last episode of Newhart. Like, they played this great thing where the whole show was a dream. Fantastic. One of the greatest sitcom endings ever. And then what I didn't realize is that towards the end of her life, she was married to Tom Poston from from Newhart. I mean, what a connection! What a world! But this episode is specifically a Christmas episode called His Busiest Season. And I took some notes as I'm outside. I can't remember everything, and I watched it this morning. Then I went off and went to a craft show with my wife and my niece. Then I walked my dog. Now I'm trying to watch football, but I can't do everything because they're doing Christmas cards in the house. I said, you know what? I'm going to go outside. I'm going to talk about the Bob Newhart Show. So I wrote some notes down. The first thing I wrote down, which I was shocked, is that the Bob Newhart Show, this episode was written and the show was partially created by Lorenzo Music. Folks, if you don't know who Lorenzo Music is, you definitely know his voice. He was Garfield. He was Peter Venkman on the real Ghostbusters until Dave Coulier took over. But he's got that voice like this. That's Lorenzo Music. And I was shocked to find out that, first of all, Music's his real last name. Lorenzo's not his real first name. He changed it to Lorenzo. Anyway, I just thought that was a nice little bit of trivia that I wanted to share with you. So I didn't know anything about this show. Like, I knew that Marsha Wallace was on it. I knew that there was a dentist. I thought Bob was the dentist at one point, but no, he's a psychiatrist. And he's having a group session with all these people, and it wasn't actually done really in poor taste. It's just they're together and they're talking about what they don't like about Christmas and what they do like about Christmas. They couldn't figure anything out, and Bob was trying to keep them positive, and he goes, "Here's my gift to you, no charge." And they're like, "Oh, yay, thank you very much, Bob." Mr. was it Hartley? Bob Hartley? That's my guess. I don't remember, but that was nice. So he goes home and he's with his wife, Suzanne Plachette. They got a nice apartment in Chicago, and they're trying to figure out gifts. What do we send to my aunt and uncle? It's like, do we send the $3 fruit basket, the $7, or the $20? He's like, well, what do they give us? I love Bob Newhart's delivery, which I've heard people say, Ellen DeGeneres stole his delivery, or at least, she apes it. It's like almost. It's very similar. I shouldn't say she stole it, but her delivery, the whole like the stuttering thing is a Bob Newhart staple. So he's like, well, what do they give us? And she sends us nothing. So he's like, well, why do we even need to send them anything? And he's like, that's not the point. He's like, you're right. I don't want to be that person. Let's send him the $3 gift basket. So then Howard shows up. Now this guy I recognize. Was he in I Dream of Jeannie too? Or am I crazy? I don't remember, but I recognize. Oh, he's a pilot. Okay, I knew he was in this show. For some reason, I thought he was the dentist. He shows up and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" They want to get Howard shoes because he flies a lot and he wears the same shoes a lot. They thought it'd be a nice gift. So there's a funny moment where they're like, "Let's, do you know his shoe size?" And Bob's like, he's told me a lot of things over the years. His shoe size is not one of them. So he comes over to visit. And he's like, I'm going to be leaving for France. I just thought I'd say hi before I leave. He sits down and he puts his foot up on, he puts his leg up on his leg, crosses his legs. And Bob does the same, and he's eyeing his shoe compared to his shoe, trying to measure it. He's like, say, Howard, what shoe size do you wear? He's like, well, why do you ask? He's, well, just me and the guys were talking about shoe sizes, and we were just, trying to figure it out. And then it turns out that he takes the shoe off, and he's like, well, I don't know. This isn't my shoe. This is another pilot's shoe. And he goes, I need to make sure he has my shoe. And he goes, Bob, why don't you try this on, and we'll see the difference, and we can figure out what it is, what his size is, and then it'll be my size too. So I thought that was kind of funny. Also, when Howard comes in, earlier in the episode, Bob comes home, and Emily's like, Merry Christmas, mistletoe, gives him a kiss on the lips. Then this Howard guy shows up, And the first thing that she does is mistletoe, Merry Christmas, kiss on the lips. Kissed Howard on the lips. I'm sorry. You want to be friendly with your neighbors and your friends, that's cool. Kiss on the cheeks, perfectly fine. But if I was Bob Newhart, I'd be like, what the hell? A kiss on the lips. And Howard got his kid a puppy, and he's like, how do you give a gift of a puppy without it just being a dog? I was like, come on, Howard. That gift alone is enough. This is 70s, so maybe it's a little different. She's like, I can get him some ribbon. We can make a ribbon for him. And they're kind of just like bored. I think it was Christmas Eve, and he's like, when do you leave? Howard's like, well, I'm just going to go to the airport, and I'll be there for a while. He's like, when do you leave? Oh, maybe 7 or 8 hours. Oh, come hang out with us, Howard. This is at the same time Bob goes back to work because he has a 3 o'clock appointment. Turns out his appointment was canceled. He didn't have to be there in the first place. But we got a little moment of his dentist friend, who I wrote down the name and I don't remember it. And we got Marsha Wallace. I don't remember her name, but she's more famous. Jerry's the dentist. Marsha Wallace, who very famously is the voice of Mrs. Krabappel on The Simpsons. Rest in peace. She's drunk on eggnog. They filled that water cooler with eggnog. Jerry the dentist is like, you should get your wife a water pick. He's like, I don't know if that's a really personal gift. He's like, he's thinking maybe, I think, did he say something like, that's what I got my mother? Howard later comes back for the kiss and the mistletoe, I think. 2 different times. I don't remember. Anyway, Bob goes and gets more gifts for his wife. He brings them home. She's got even more gifts for him. He's like, and then Bob's there. Howard's there. They're just watching Christmas Eve. They're watching a special. That's when Howard comes over the second time. He's like, I'm going to be heading out. And that's when he says, I have 7 or 8 hours. And like, come on, spend Christmas Eve with us. We're just sitting here watching Perry Como and Christmas specials. And then Bob's like, you know what? This is really kind of depressing. Let's throw a Christmas party. And like, who are you going to get on Christmas Eve to come to a Christmas party? He's like, I know the right people. And he invites all his patients. They're all there having a party, but no one's having really fun. They look kind of depressed. Everyone's a little nervous. At one point, this guy who was like, I don't want to be here. He was like, oh, Bob, can I use the bathroom? Sure. It's down here. He's like, where's the men? Oh, do you have a restroom? Yes. Where's the men's room? He goes, it's my house. It's just one bathroom. I'm telling a joke. Oh, he goes, you didn't like my joke, did you? No, we liked it. You didn't laugh. Oh, no, it was funny. He comes out later. He broke the faucet. He's like, I shoved a robe in there because the water's going everywhere. Bob's like, that's fine. He didn't want to make a big deal about his nervous patients. And the patients, they're like, let's sing a song. Well, which song? They couldn't decide which song. Oh, let's do a Little Town of Bethlehem. But one guy's like, I really shouldn't. I'm half Jewish. It makes me nervous. And then they start singing it, and then a guy comes in and says, your car's being towed. He's like, I told you I should have done it. You know what? Who cares? Let them tow my car. They've towed it before. I don't care. I'm going to enjoy Christmas. And they basically, they're basically just singing the song. They sing the Christmas Carol, or they sing a bunch of different Christmas songs. And that was the end of the episode, really. Trying to think what else happened. I think after the singing of the Christmas carols, I think that was just kind of the end of the episode. It was fun. Nothing like spectacular happening. Nothing happened in this episode where I said, oh, this is the classic moment of that Christmas episode from the Bob Newhart Show that people still talk about or anything like that. I think I was expecting that because I saw this on the list of top Christmas episodes. I thought, I got to watch an old Bob Newhart episode. And while it was funny, and then the guy, Jerry the dentist, showed up. Marsha Wallace was there at the party as well. So everyone, pretty much the main cast, were all there. But what I think I was expecting something really crazy to happen, and it didn't. But it doesn't mean it wasn't a solid, good, fun Christmas episode with heart. It had heart. Dare I say, new heart? Just because Bob reached out and seemed like he really cares about his patients, and he wanted them to have a good time, and he didn't want them to be nervous, and he wanted to just have them enjoy themselves. And I feel like they did. Now, I don't know if any of these patients keep popping up. It was fun because at one point, Howard the pilot's talking to this woman. He's like, he goes, she's like, I don't fly. He goes, flying is the safest way to transport. It's safer than driving. She goes, oh, I don't drive. How do you get everywhere? Well, I walk. He goes, well, it's safer than walking. She's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't walk anywhere. And then they're like, Bob's like, it's not like you're going to get hurt on the couch. Then she stands up from the couch, like she's constantly nervous that something bad's going to happen. So I thought that was kind of funny, cute. They didn't, again, they didn't make the patients seem like cuckoo, which is because they're not in a booby hatch like they were in Laverne and Shirley. They didn't make it light. They didn't take light of things. It wasn't overly serious, but it wasn't mocking. That's what I think I'm trying to say. Where in the Laverne and Shirley, it wasn't really mocking either. No, maybe the title was a bit mocking. That's why they changed it. But I just, again, solid, fun, enjoyable episode. But I feel like I will laugh more with the Newhart Show, because that is just, again, Tom Poston, again, Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. These characters, plus all the the cast of like the people who work there, the staff of the, the kind of the rich straight, the guy who just died, from Bosom Buddies, not Tom Hanks, but Peter Scolari. That's how I have to get his name. He was on it. Very, very funny. I remember being on it. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's another time, another day, another week maybe. Today, I watched the Bob Newhart Show. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure if it's my first ever episode watching. It very well might be. And again, another show where I feel like, gosh, I should know this show backwards and forwards. I should watch it all. Maybe someday I will. Maybe someday I'll just go on a classic Hulu TV jaunt and go cuckoo bananas. But that's it, my friends. I think I covered everything I need to cover today. So I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you're having a nice December. I hope you're having a nice December, and it's easy to believe maybe tomorrow I'll do a different sitcom show. That's off the cuff. I mean, I am doing another sitcom show, but what is it going to be? Here's the thing, guys. I don't know yet. I have shows I want to do. I have certain shows I want to do with guest hosts. Other shows I want to do by myself, and I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I hope you come along with me for this ride, this Christmas ride. Yep, that's it. I'm done. I said it's nice out, but I'm starting to get really cold. So I'm going to head in and watch some football and maybe put a stamp or two on a Christmas card just to say I helped, right? I designed the Christmas card in Photoshop, so I feel like I can take the addressing part off, especially with my niece helping. I mean, it's always good to put a kid to work to do a task that you don't want to do. I'm done now. So until tomorrow, my friends, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening and subscribing. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Geek Mentality. The website is fansnotexperts.com. And of course, here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode. Fans Not Experts.